So yan, sa mga control console, pwede mo silang lagyan ng sensor at meron ka rin itong FM200 o kaya itong Energen o kaya yung Novec. Yan yung mga tatlong magkakalaban dyan. Okay. At alamin natin yung kalaban ni Novec. Kasi, kalaban ni FM200, yung Novec. What is Novec? 3M Novec 1230 Fire Protection Fluid. So, is a next generation halon alternative offering outstanding performance, large margin of safety, and excellent environmental profile. Zero ozone depletion potential. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Kasi si halon dati, naapektuhan niya si ozone. Okay. 5-day atmospheric lifetime. A global warming potential of 1. Siguro may calibration yung mga nakakaapekto ng global warming na gases. No? A large margin of safety for occupied spaces. Novec 1230 Fire Protection Fluid is based on a proprietary chemical from 3M. So, it is a product of 3M. Alam niyo yung 3M, yan yung mga gumagawa ng mga maraming plastic yan. Yung mga, lalo na sa electrical, yung high voltage termination, mga kung ano-ano, no? 3M plastics, di ba? They use dodecafluoro to methylphentan 3,1. No? It's ASRAE nomenclature, the way it is designated in the NFPA 2001 and ISO 14520 Clean Agent Standards is FK-5-1-12. No? So, Novec 1230 fluid offers a unique combination of safety, low environmental impact, and extinguishing performance, making it the first chemical halon replacement to offer viable, long-term, sustainable technology for spatial hazards fire protection. Ayan, so that's the comparison between the FM200 and Novec, no? Okay, so ito picture ng isang Novec. So, ayan yung tanke ni Novec, yung dalawang tanke na yan. Tapos may piping din siya. Pareho rin ni FM200, no? Yan. So, ito, brand niya, Kide Fire System. Okay. Now, yung Energen naman, that's the third na common, ano? Na halos nilalaban kay FM200, Novec. Okay. Energen. So, Clean Agent Fire Suppression. Energen, a product of Anzol Corporation, is composed of 3 gases, 52% nitrogen, yan sasabi ko kanina, nitrogen from the air, no? 40% argon, so argonite, no? And 8% carbon dioxide. Energen systems reduce the level of oxygen to about 12.5%. Di ba yung ating hangin is 20% oxygen. So i-design si Energen such that pag binuga mo siya, yung oxygen around the will become only 12.5%. Okay? So, which is sufficient for human safety. So, ibig sabihin, hindi niya totally i-displace si oxygen. May matitira pa rin na 12.5% oxygen. So, binawasan lang niya ng ilan? Mga roughly 7.5% from the 20% na normal presence ni oxygen sa paligid natin, no? But not sufficient to sustain fire. So, yung 12.5% is not sufficient to sustain fire. Okay? So, yan ang niya. Ang characteristic design ni Energen. At ito yung picture ng argonite tanks. Ha? So, ayan. Argonite tanks. At ito, nakahalongkat ako sa internet ng comparison among the agents. Trade name, FM200, Novec, meron siyang Ecaro or FE25, hindi ko masyadong kilala to FE13, Energen, yan. Tapos argonite and carbon dioxide. Hindi niya sinama rito yung nitrogen. Samantala kasi, lahat ito gumagamit ng nitrogen. Ito may nitrogen, si Novec may nitrogen, si Energen may nitrogen. Nitrogen is 80% ng hangin. Diba? So, hindi niya sinama kasi malalaman yung sikreto nila. Kaya kung ikaw gusto mong mag-design ng fire protection mo, magkakaroon ka lang ng equipment to extract nitrogen or separate nitrogen from air, which is 80%, no? Pamatay na ng ano yan, pamatay na ng apoy yung nitrogen na yan. Okay? Tingnan natin ang characteristics nila, no? Stored pressure, 360 PSI si FM200. Si Novec, 360 rin. Si Ecaro, 609, ang taas. Si Inergen, 2900 PSI, sobrang taas. Si Argonite. Oh. Yan. Kasi si Inergen may Argonite, di ba? Then, at saka may carbon din siya. Kaya itong Inergen, may Argonite, may carbon dioxide, at may nitrogen. Most common, easy to obtain itong si FM200. Novec, wide safety margin. Ecaro, less agent required. Fe13, very effective. Inergen, good for environment close to atmospheric density. Argonite, same as above. Carbon dioxide, very effective, easy to refill. Okay? Now, tingnan natin disadvantages nila. Si FM200 daw, damage to environment. Alba itong si Siemens, sabi niya, si FM200, it damages the environment. So, mukhang si Siemens, kalaban niya si gumagawa ng FM200. Anyway, sige, tingnan natin. Si Novec, since 3M only introduced in 2003, it is relatively new. Pero that was long time ago, 2003. Ngayon, 2020 na. So, subok na itong si Novec, no? Then, Ecaro, dangerous to humans. So, wag na natin consider yan kasi sabi ni Siemens yan. Then, Fe13, not typically used for occupied areas. So, itong dalawang ito, not recommended for occupied. Meaning to say, kung may mga tao. Okay. Then, Inergen, 60-second discharge time, 40% volume added to room, up to 10 times as many cylinder. Ayun lang. Marami kang cylinders. Okay. Kasi nga, ang taas ang pressure, 29,000 PSI. Okay. Same as above, 180 degrees nozzle. Not permitted to use in occupied areas. So, again, si carbon dioxide, kasi hindi mo nilalanghap to, so hindi siya pwede dun sa mga occupied. Kung meron kang personnel na nagbabantay dun sa kwarto, sa substation, hindi maganda tong si carbon dioxide kasi mawawalan siya ng oxygen. Okay, so, anong maganda? Sinasabi niya si Novec, maganda raw. At itong si Inergen and Argonite. Si carbon dioxide kasi maliit lang yung percentage niya, 8% lang. Pero ako, ang hindi nakasama rito na na-research ko na is nitrogen. Nitrogen, next time i-share ko yan. Meron akong equipment na imported from Europe na pwede mo ngayong ihiwalay yung nitrogen from air at hindi mo kailangan ng malaking mga tangke. Okay? Pwede mo siyang ibugana dyan sa sunog kung sakali. Okay, basta wag lang mawalan ng power. Okay? So, I hope that has given you some idea sa mga suppression agents. And ngayon, tutuloy na tayo rito sa sprinkler system na siya ang main topic. Medyo mahaba ito So, anyway, let's have a short break. At mamaya pagbalik natin babatiin natin yung message. Babasahin natin yung mga messages nyo. Okay, so we are back. Let me see our chat group. Okay, okay, so the last message I read was by Chris Tureda, authorized buzzer ang ARKI. So, oh, by the way, mukhang ibabalik yung yung FALAR. Yung FALAR kasi, the FALAR is an assessment of the fire protection and life safety ng mga projects natin, no? Meron yung FALAR 1. FALAR 1 is ang pumipirma ron is an architect, a PEE, and a PME, no? Ganon. Si architect, re-review niya yung mga means of egress, yung mga gaano kalalayo yung fire exits, mga lapad ng daan, etc., no? Yung means of egress, yun ang sakop ni architect na pipirma doon. Si PE naman, yung electrical ng building at saka yung FDAS, at saka yung anything that is electronics, no? Mga detection, etc. So, at siguro, dahil nga pwede na rin si PECE sa FDAS, pwede rin siya. Pero yung electrical, hindi niya ma-review yun kasi hindi niya kabisado yung electrical ng building. Si PE ang pipirma doon. Kaya, medyo malilimitahan siya sa pagdating sa FALAR, si PECE. Doon lang siya pwede sa FDAS system. Hindi siya pwede sa buong FALAR kasi yung electrical. Pwede rin iba yung FDAS, PECE pumirma, pero yung electrical ng building, PEE. Lang, siyempre, kung ikaw nagpagawa ng FALAR, bakit ka pa magpapirma sa dalawa? Isang PECE, isang PEE. Doon ka na lang sa PEE, di ba? Okay. Yung sprinkler naman, si PME pipirma, saka air pressurization. So, that will make a complete system. So, lumalabas, tatlo. Si architect, yung mga means of egress, ganyan, yung mga lapad ng madanan. Itong si electrical, PE, yung mga kuryente at saka yung detection, di ba? At si mechanical naman, yung sprinkler, saka air pressurization, saka extraction fan. So, yun yung tatlo. Kasi si mechanical, di niya kabisado ang FDAS eh. Di niya kabisado yung scope ni architect. Ganon din si architect, di niya pwedeng makabisado dito. Unless, sakop din niya. Si electrical, limited lang din siya dun sa FDAS at saka mga detection, etc. Electrical. Hindi mo makabisado rin yung sprinkler kasi sakop ni mechanical yun. Ganon din si Juan. Kaya ito, tinuturo natin ito lahat para alam natin lahat. Ngayon lang, kung sa plano, magpapirma ka sa kung sino dapat authorized na pumirma. Pero maganda alam mo lahat para walang makaligtaan. Hindi yung magtuturan, ito lang sakop ko hindi ko alam yan. Kaya na maraming nadidisgrasya pa rin, marami pa rin namamatay kasi hindi comprehensive yung design natin. Walang kukunti sigurong maalam na alam niya lahat para ma-review niya lahat ng mga sinasabi ko. Okay? So, Nestor Reyes, good PM po sa lahat. Thanks again, Sir Willie. Tiyak, maraming na namang matuto. Salamat, Nes. Nestor Reyes is our National Auditor in the Philippine Society of United Master Plumbers. Okay. Giller Lizardo, good evening, sir. Michael Pangulon, sir, how about FE36? Yun, na-mention na kanina. Mayroong negative na comment si Siemens, Nung nakita mo yung huli nating slide, di ba? Si FE36 daw, mamaya, tingnan natin mamaya. Para maano, kasi tinatanong mo, Michael Pagulom, no? Nagamit mo na ba to? Meron negative dun kanina eh. Okay, Charles August, good evening, sir. Charles August is from Zambales. Charles August Doke. JB Elinor Bondok, sir, saan usually ginagamit yung foam water fire sprinkler system? Usually ginagamit sa type B fire kasi may mga gas. So, ayun. Yung foam kasi, tatakluban niya yung nasusunog na na chemical or what, no? Billy Joe, sir, gusto ko sana mag-take ng RMP, baka matulungan niyo ko. No problem, Billy. Kung gusto mo, magkakandak tayo ng review, kontakin mo si MEFF Plumbing at kaya lang sa February 2021 pa. Meron kasing nagre-review pang July, hindi naman natuloy exam sa July. So sa February na sila examen. So may grupo na gustong susunod na mag-review rito, no? Mga grupong Singapore, mga engineer sa Singapore, si Engineer RV ng Singapore, at saka marami sila doon. So you can join tong grupo na ito, online lang din, online lang. Kung willing kayo, join the group, then we conduct the seminars, ganito rin, pero mas maraming Facebook live naman yon. So mag-open ng Facebook group na private, ang nakasama lang doon yung mga kasama, naka-enroll, at mag-Facebook live yung lecturer. Okay? Facebook live. Okay? Pwede rin may YouTube. Pero pag YouTube, siyempre libre na kasi makikita ng lahat. So yung Facebook live, tapos meron chat group, parang ginagawa ko sa CREX na merong limited chat group. Doon sa CREX ko, yung mga hindi enrolled doon, lateran, tatanggalin ko na sila. Maiwan lang yung talagang enrolled. Kasi baka maguguluhan lang yung grupo. Okay? So no problem, Billy. We can help if you are not, we can help you with the certification if you plan to take that exam. Orlando Santiago, may rule of thumb din ba, sir, regarding sa mga detector or sa side na ng supplier yun? Meron din, no? Balikan mo yung, meron akong nauna ng lecture na merong FDAS. Hanapin mo lang sa unahan ng mga uploaded ko. I just forgot, no? Basta FirePro rin siya, pero may nakadetalyeng FDAS yun. Tingnan mo. Yung smoke detectors sa mga normal areas, up to 35 to 40 square meters, one detector, no? Sa mga important areas like substation, computer rooms, battery rooms, yung mga equipment room, no, medyo maselan, ayun, up to 25 square meters, one detector naman. Just for your information, Orly, no? Okay, so Bonifacio Merano, FSP, dapat alam lahat, passive, active. Yan, tama ka. Fire safety practitioner. Yun, tama ka, Billy, no? Boni Merano, no? Billy Ju, sir, isama nyo na ka rin. Thank you po, no problem. Sige. Bonifacio Merano, as well as the RA 9514. Yes, nandun na siya. Then, Ruel London, sir, paano ba magpa-member sa PISAM? Ano ba mga requirements dito? Wala namang problema, Ruel London. If you are a master plumber, pwede kang magpadala sa sa email ko na you want to become a member of PISAM, no? Philippine Society of United Master Plumbers. Kasi tatlo yung grupo ng master plumbers yung NAMPAP, yan ang pinakauna, then yung PSPE, Philippine Society of Plumbing Engineers, and then PISAM, Philippine Society of United Master Plumbers. Today, PISAM is the biggest. I was the founding president in 2012. The next president was Armando Diaz from 2013 to 2018. And last year, 2019 until present, si Architect Eldred Tan of Cebu. Architect at the same time Master Plumber. So, ang PISAM ngayon ay very active para magsulong ng mga kasi hindi ma-unify ang PISAM at saka PSP gustong maging plumbing engineer ang master plumber, samantala si NAMPAP ayaw niya maging plumbing engineer. Itong dalawa, PISAM and PSP, nagsulong sa kongreso na maging plumbing engineers. Si NAMPAP ayaw. Hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit. Dati rin ako NAMPAP, kaya lang nagbayad ako ng lifetime membership sa NAMPAP noong 2010, pero hanggang sa kumalas ako sa kanila, hindi ako nabigyan ng lifetime membership ID. Hindi binigyan ng justice yung binayaran ko na lifetime membership, 5,000. At ako yung unang lifetime member ng PISAM. Nung ako national president, 2012-2013, nag-donate na ako ng 5,000 maski hindi pa approve ng board noon. Kasi gusto kong lumaki talaga yung Philippine Society of United Master Plumbers. At si PISAM, dyan nagsimula mabuo ang MEPF. Kami ni Engineer Diaz, binuo namin ang MEPF, Organization of the Philippines. Kasi nga, electromechanical plumbing fire protection ang practice ko. Kinonbinsi ko rin si Engineer Diaz na mag-plumbing. Kasi dati, ano lang si Engineer Diaz eh, PEE siya na CPM. So yun, so na-convince ko siya na mag-plumbing noong 2013, pumasa siya. Yan, so at least dalawa kaming body-body para buuin tong MEPF. Okay? Sino pa? So ganun na Rowel London, padala mo lang sa email ko yung intention mo at ano. Meron ka kasing pipilapan na form, yung PISAM info sheet form. At pwede na yung magme-member ng PISAM, pwedeng ma-issuehan ng ID. Pagka nakapagbayad ka ng membership fee, pwede kong bigyan ng libreng ID ng PISAM. Okay? At Michael Pagulon, sir, ako rin po interested sa PISAM. Sige Michael, just do it, okay? Okay, so tuloy na natin. Let's go to the slide again. And let me just go back to that, yung FE 36 pala sinasabi mo, no? Wala rito, FE25 saka FE13 tong ni-review ni Siemens. So, tandaan natin ha, hindi ako nagre-review nito. It is Siemens, and Siemens is a European multinational company na malaking clout nitong Siemens, no? So, mga electrical equipment ang karamihan ng ano niya. At ine-evaluate niya itong mga agents na aangkop dun sa kanya, sinasabi niya. Kaya lang, yung FE kanina, 36 yon, siguro baka mas maganda na yon. Pero ito kasing FE36 at 25 and 13, sinabi ni Siemens na to dangerous to humans. Tapos 13, not typically used in occupied area. So that means na baka yung FE36 maganda na. Tingnan natin. I will research next time, ano, kung okay ba siya. So now we proceed to our automatic fire sprinkler system, or AFSS, and FA13. This, by the way, this was originally presented by Engineer Henry Suarez, a PME and a RMP also. And I have to enhance it so that medyo pinalaki ko lahat yung ano, mga slides para mas madali ano, ang liliit kasi dati eh. So NFPA is National Fire Protection Association. It was founded in 1896. Take note, nung kumakalas sila Gat Andres Bonifacio against Spain sa Espanya, yun naman yung panahon na naitatag itong NFPA ng Amerika. So ibig sabihin, talagang advance yung Amerika. Lumalaban pa lang tayo sa Kastila, naitayo na nila tong NFPA. Okay? Tapos factory manual. It is an organization of insurers, no? 1835. So, panahon pa lang na 1835, nandiyan yung mga insurance companies, okay? So, kasi pag nasunog yung building mo, pag na-insure, meron kang pagkukunan ng insurance, ano, no? Ayan. At dahil dyan naman, kuminsan nagiging dahilan nung ano, yung arson, di ba? So, anyway. Then, Underwriters Laboratory, UL, is a non-profit organization founded naman in 1894. So, yung UL na yan, na nag-specify ng standard sa mga kagamitan, electrical and mechanical, sa fire pump, ganyan. 1894 pa. Ayan, no? So, nagpaplano pa lang kumalas sila Gat Andres Bonifacio sa Castilla. Okay. Fire pump is a firefighting equipment. Jockey pump is a small pump that pressurizes the system, and fire pump controller, of course, sa fire pump. Jockey pump controller sa jockey pump. Okay. Every architect and a fire protection designer shall comply and conform with the following codes and standards. No? Okay, the Fire Code of the Philippines, Republic Act 9514, and all reference codes like the National Building Code, the Philippine Society of Mechanical Engineers Code, Uniform Mechanical Code, NFPA 1, Fire Prevention Code, Philippine Electrical Code, of course, must be the latest, and National Electrical Code must be the latest. Of course, pwede nang isama na rin dito yung Philippine Electronics Code, yung code ng mga PECE, kasi meron na rin sila yung ang provision niya NFPA 72. Yung electrical kasi NFPA 70. Standards, National Fire Protection Association standards, then factory manual or FM standards, UL standards, then American Water Works Association, AWA, American National Standards Institute, ANSI, American Society for Testing and Materials, ASTM, applicable city ordinances if there are, no? Okay, so that's in general the basis that will govern your design and implementation for your fire protection system. So, fire protection approach, ito na nga yung sinasabi ni Bonnie Merano. There is the passive fire protection and the active fire. Active fire is the use of sprinklers, pumps, jockey pumps, pipes, fire hose cabinets, fire department, anything, no? Fire sprinklers, anything na something like a mechanical or electrical to protect a building or people is we call active fire. Yung passive fire is yung ikinabit na dyan sa construction. Since i-design na architect, i-specify niya, i-design niya. At i-construct naman ni building contractor. At syempre, may influence din si owner. Kung alam ni owner ito, pwede niyang sabihin na gusto ko fire retardant lahat, ha? Walang plywood, walang lawanit, walang masusunog. Pag sinabi niyang ganun kasi, then o glass, ganun. So, kasi minsan nakita ko na may mga projects na yung nag-design walang basta gamit lang ng gamit ng plywood, gamit ng yung mga cabinets natin, yung mga closets, diba? Wala ka kasing alternative pa sa plywood kasi plyboard ang ginagamit. Sana meron ng alternative na fire retardant yung mga cabinets natin, di ba? Yung mga closets para mabawasan yung bagay na nasusunog sa isang gusali, isang bahay.
2.8.5 Passive Fire Protection. The combination of all methods used in building to warn people of an emergency, provide for safe evacuation, and restrict the spread of fire, and includes both active and passive protection. Passive fire protection, or PFP features, relate to elements of construction that are generally part of the fabric of the building as opposed to active features such as sprinklers, detectors, alarms, etc. Examples of PFP features in a typical building are fire-rated walls, floors, ceiling, and roofs, such as the use of CHB walls, the use of gypsum board or fiber cement board panels, Hardiflex, which are made of fire-retardant materials instead of plywood panels, fire and smoke control doors, fire and smoke stopping seals, collars, pillows, blankets, etc. for service penetrations, fire-rated protective coatings, or concrete encasement for structural steel members, etc., fire and smoke dampers or curtains, fire-rated glass systems, fire-rated lift landing doors, fire-rated ducting.
Then fire-rated protective coating, so ito parang a certain material na pinapahid para maging fire-rated yung hindi masunog yung usual na masusunog na material, hindi siya masusunog, no? So, palagay mo kahoy, finish mo, tabla o pinahiram mo nito, hindi siya masusunog. Ngayon ang problema, wala ka ng indicator, no? Malalaman mo na lang kung sinunog mo at hindi nasunog, meron palang fire-rated protective coating, no? So, yun ang problema. Okay. Dapat may kulay siya na pagka nag-fade na, alam mo na, hindi na effective yung pinahid. Okay. Fire and smoke dampers. Okay. Then, fire-rated glass. Ang glass kasi na makapal, fire-rated yan. Yung manipis, wag. Kasi pag manipis, nadarang siya ng apoy, magbe-break. Okay. Manipis. Kailangan makapal. Okay. Then, fire-rated lifts, landing doors, fire-rated ducting. So, anything na masasabi nating fire-rated. Okay? So, yan. Sa drawing nito, makikita mo yung mga fire-rated na material sa gusali, no? So, kung nag-flooring ka ng kahoy, hindi na fire-rated. Nag-flooring ka ng plywood, hindi na fire-rated. Okay? So, kailangan semento ang flooring mo. Pwede rin bakal, kasi hindi man masunog si bakal, pero lalambot si bakal sa fire. So, kailangan, pinakamaganda, concrete, kasi si concrete, may fire retardant properties siya. Lalo-lalo yung mga columns mo, kung gumamit ka ng column na steel, dapat balutin mo ng concrete para medyo matakpan mo siya ng fire retardant material. Okay? So yan, yung mga pwede mong magamit para maging passive fire rated ang building mo. Okay, recommended building materials for passive fireproof: reinforced concrete, hollow blocks, walls, ganyan, gypsum board. Kanina minention ko na pero nilista ko para mas maliwanag, no? Hardiplex, fiber cement board, granite, marble, ceramic tiles, red bricks, adobe blocks, thick glass panels, asbestos cement panels. So, ito naman yung hindi rekomendado kasi hindi siya fire rated. Plywood panels, plyboard, yan yung sinasabi ko, yung pamalit dun sa plyboard na ginagamit sa mga cabinets. Particle boards, lawanit panels, thin metal sheets, plastic sheets, carton sheets. So, siguro, ang magandang challenge sa mga paintmakers, sila Boysen, sila Davis, kung makadevelop sila ng pintura na magiging fire retardant. Kunyari, cabinet, pinintura mo ng kanyang pintura, hindi na masusunog. Yun ang maganda. Kung sila manufacturing company ng pintura, meron silang ganong capability na para hindi masunog yung papahiran ng kanilang produkto. Yun ang challenge ko. But there are 4 basic types of active fire system. No? Each has its own way of doing the same job. Controlling or extinguishing a fire threat as follows: the wet system. So si wet system, syempre dapat may tubig siya, no? May liquid siya na pamatay sunog, no? A wet fire sprinkler system always has water in the piping, and a sprinkler activates when it is triggered by heat or the detection system. Then, dry system. A dry fire sprinkler is filled with compressed air or nitrogen, only filled with water when a sprinkler is triggered. So, that's the dry system. Pero, pwede rin siyang dry lang siya, pero gagamitin na siya pagka may sunog na, no? Bakit nilalagyan ng nitrogen? Lalagyan siya kasi para yung loob ng pag nilagyan mo kasi ng nitrogen loob ng tubo, yung dry standpipe, walang space yung oxygen, so hindi siya kakalawangin. At the same time, si nitrogen, pamatay sunog din siya. Okay? So yan si dry, para hindi kalawangin. Pag di mo nilagyan kasi at hangin lang talaga, kakalawangin yung loob. Okay? At pwedeng, although fire hose cabinet o fire hose naman yung gagamitin mo, malaking butas ni fire hose, so makakalusot naman yung dumi ron. Hindi kasing pero yun lang, pwedeng kalawangin yung loob niya. Pag inabot ka ng mga 30 years na at hindi mo maintain, baka puro kalawang na yung loob. Okay. Pre-action system. A pre-action fire sprinkler system begins as a dry. Once an event happens, water fills the system sensors. The system and sensors or non-interlock systems activate after the detection system is triggered or a sprinkler activates. So medyo itong pre-action system, no? And a deluge system, a deluge fire sprinkler system is always open and the water is held back until an alarm is triggered. Okay, so ang most popular dito ay itong wet system. Laging may tubig kasi itong mga ito kasi, yung dry, pre-action, tsaka deluge, meron pa siyang precondition. Samantala itong si wet, may tubig na dun nakaamba. Mainitan lang yung nozzle, bubuga na. So, mas malapit sa trabaho niya, di ba? Kaysa itong mga ito.
2.6 Active Fire Protection. Sprinkler System. The most widely used apparatus for fire protection in the building is an automatic sprinkler system. The Fire Code of the Philippines requires an approved and supervised sprinkler system, conforming to NFPA 13, for buildings 15 meters high from the ground floor to topmost floor level or more. Section 10.2.14.6. The sprinkler system consists of a network of piping installed at the ceiling or roof and supplied with water, utilizing an approved fire pump from a stable source.
Of course, medyo nabago to nung NFPA, no? Kasi meron siya kasing sinabi na kung yung building mo tinutulugan, no? Meron kang guest na natutulog, like a hotel, like a motel, like a dormitory, like a hospital, kailangan lagyan mo ng sprinkler system maski hindi siya abot ng 15 meters o maski below 15 meters siya. Kasi dito, dun sa old fire code, hanggang 15, 15, hindi na ha? So, ito, no? Ito na sinasabi ko. Ha? Kung yung building mo hotel, motel, dormitory, hospital, automatic lagyan mo ng sprinkler system. Maski 1 story siya, 2 story, 3 story, 4 story, or below 15 meters. Ha? In the old fire code, yung martial law fire code, iyan, ganun siya. Above 15 meters lang. Okay? So, tandaan natin yan. Okay, or, ang sabi rin niya, kung merong flammable materials, ay lagyan mo rin ng sprinkler, maski below 15 meters, kung meron kang flammable materials na naka-imbak, tulad ng mga kerosene, gasoline, etc., kailangan lagyan mo rin ng sprinkler system or suppression system. Okay? Otherwise, kung wala yung condition na ito, hotel, motel, dormitory, hospital, flammable, pag wala yan, then fire hose cabinets lang. Okay, fire hose cabinets, fire department connection, yan, ang ilalagay mo. Minimum, pwede na yan. Okay? So, wet systems. Wet system is basically consists of pipes with sprinklers and or fire hose cabinets provided at its floor level. In this type of system, the pipes are full of fire water at standard operating pressure. Let me use my eyeglass. Saan na tayo? The pipes are full of fire water at standard operating pressure and are ready to act instantly if the sprinkler nozzles are activated or exposed to heat. This system has a stationary fire pump and a fire department connection, Siamese twin, provided with a check valve, jockey pump, or an elevated water tank is provided to continuously operate to maintain the hydraulic pressure in the system. A minimum of 7 psi to the farthest sprinkler nozzle from the fire pump in terms of hydraulic pressure. So that's in general, the wet fire sprinkler, automatic sprinkler system. How about the dry system? These systems are usually not filled with fire water, but during tests, the pipes are filled with fire water up to the valves of the fire hose cabinets at standard operating pressure. When there is fire, the fire water from the stationary fire pump of the facility or from a fire truck through the fire department connection enters the pipes to the fire hose cabinets. So, ganyan si dry. Okay, so, in general, there are 3 types of the water distribution in the sprinkler system. No? Number 1 is the 3 type. So, you have a riser pipe, and then 1 horizontal distribution pipe, and you have branches, horizontal here, branches, and of course the sprinkler nozzle in each of the branches. No? While the loop type, you will notice that the loop type is encircled with a pipe supply line. No? So that means that meron doon sa likod, dito sa bandang harapan niya. So in other words, dalawa yung pwede mag-supply ng linya. No? So, pwede rito, pwede doon sa kabila. No? Pwede itong side na ito, pwede rin doon sa side na yan. Ito usually is ginagamit sa mas malalaking building kesa dito. So mga medyo sprawling siya, palapad. Dito sa drawing maliit lang tingnan, pero sa actual yan usually malapad siya. Okay. Ito namang gridded type. Matindi to kasi meron kang isolating valves dito sa mga simula rito. So pwede kang mag-maintain ng per branch lang, no? Kunyari ito, maintain mo, check upin mo to, no? Pwede mong saran yung valvula rito, saran mo yung valvula, provide ka lang ng fire watch sa lugar na yan, tapos pwede mong gawin. Ito kasi, kung ito, maintain mo yung main riser mo nito, Mahirap kasi you have to provide mga fire watch sa buong floor. Itong buong floor na ito, meron kang nakabantay lahat dyan na firemen o fire watch kung tawagin. Nakabantay. In kaso na magkaroon ng sunog, meron kagad action during the time of maintenance. So, the maintenance mo, kailangan approved ng mabilis lang, hindi pwedeng matagal. Otherwise, yung fire watch mo, nakatutok siya ron. Walang iwanan. So, ganun din to. So, yun ang problema lang sa 3 type. Pag nagpatay ka ng valvula, apektado lahat. Samantala itong gridded type at saka loop type, pwede kang mag-isolate. Okay, so, in terms of maintenance, medyo mas magaganda itong gridded type tsaka yung loop type as against the 3 type. Okay, so here is just a schematic sample from the NFPA. The water coming in from the city line, ito, papasok. Then the water goes to the different sprinklers like this one. Ito, this one, meron din dito, no? So, this is a part na high ceiling, ito naman lower ceiling. So, it's just an example, okay? So, ayan. Okay, so, at meron siyang test drain dito sa labas, no? Gusto mong testingin. Okay, so, andyan naman ang mga legend para makakuha nyo, no? Okay, let me have one, no? 11 is what? Wet pipe alarm bulb. So, ito, wet pipe alarm bulb. Tingin pa tayo ng isa. Let's have one more. 13. So, sabi ko nga, sprinkler. Okay. About 3. What is 3? Ayan, pumper hydrant. Okay, so, dyan magko-connect sa, yung fire hydrant sa labas, sa kalye. About this one. Number 5. Post indicator valve. Okay. And then, ano pa? 14. 14 is down pendant sprinkler. Okay, tingnan natin itong 18. 18, inspector's test. So, yan. Okay, tsaka drain. Inspector's test and drain. Okay? So, there are 3 types of motor-driven fire pumps. We have here the horizontal split case. And here is the vertical inline. So, matipid sa space itong vertical inline. So, intake, discharge. Ito, intake, discharge. So, horizontal yung motor drive. Ito naman si vertical turbine ay kung ang water tank mo, fire water tank mo nasa ilalim, ito yung gagamitin mo. Kasi itong intake niya ay nakalubog sa tubig. Okay. Itong dalawang ito, may problema pagka ang mga water tanks mo nasa ilalim ng floor o ng lupa, ilalim nito, may possibility ng hangin ang masipsip mo. Yun. So, yun ang problema pagka nasa ilalim. Mas maganda na itong gamitin mo dahil sigurado mo na may net positive pressure dun sa suction ng fire pump. Itong turbine, vertical turbine pump. No? Okay, paano naman to? Ito naman is diesel engine driven fire pump. Makita mo, hindi motor, diesel engine. So, that means na meron siyang diesel fuel. Nakakupol siya dyan sa fire pump. Definitely, mas mahal itong si diesel engine driven fire pump kaysa itong mga motor driven. No? Ang dami mong parts dito na i-maintain. Diba? So, many parts to maintain, pati cylinder, nako, ang dami. Ito, mas simple. So, usually, meron ka naman genset. Si genset na ang magsusupply ng power sa mga motors mo, sa mga fire pump motors mo. Okay, so here is a graph for the characteristic graph for fire pumps, pump characteristic curves, at saka ito, capacity, fire pump characteristic curve also. So, makikita mo yan, no? Para kung anong performance ng efficiency, yung head, at yung horsepower. Okay. Fire pump selection is based on the requirements of the NFPA 20 standard and not similar to selecting a pump used for domestic water supply. Fire pump is needed to enhance the water pressure from water tank or cistern tank. Fire pump is selected based on the total head required and system flow requirements of the fire protection system. Fire pump is selected using the pump characteristics curve. And the fire pump normally is the fire pump normally FM approved or UL listed? The answer is no. Any centrifugal pump can be qualified as a fire pump as long as its selection is based on the performance requirements yun. So, kailangan yung fire pump mo, nakadesign siya na makayanan niya yung no? Number 1, yung flow, tsaka yung number 2, yung pressure, no? Ng So, kaya mahalaga itong hydraulic calculations. Okay? Okay, so this is a schematic of a complete system. Pwedeng i-replicate nga lang itong ganitong distribution in every floor. So, yan. So, here we would see 2 fire pumps, fire pump 1, fire pump 2, and we have here the jockey pump in the middle of the 2 fire pumps. And we have here the fire water cistern or fire water tank divided into 2. Okay, so may kanilang intake. Yan. At yung discharge line, ito, header. Okay. So, normally, si jockey pump, andar ng andar para i-pressurize niya itong hydraulic line hanggang sa mga sprinklers. Yan. I-pressurize niya yan. Ito, yung maraming sprinklers. Okay? Then, of course, meron din siyang fire hose cabinet per floor. Ito, sa second floor, ito sa ground floor. So, you can replicate this fire hose in every floor. Okay. So, tapos meron din ditong fire department connection. Ito, yung Siamese twin sa harapan ng building. Sorry, nauhawa ko. Tutuyuan. Okay, so now here we have some components. We have the stop valve. Okay, so stop valve. The stop valve is used to isolate the water supply, also called to isolating valve. It's often painted red and color, no? Valve monitor is used to monitor the state open, no? And the stop valve, so rising stem or what, no? Then alarm valve is also known as the alarm check valve. No? Then the automatic fire sprinkler, of course, yan yung mga sprinklers natin. Then alarm test valve. Alarm test valve is a small valve normally secured in the closed position. The alarm test valve is fitted between the sprinkler system side of the alarm valve and the drain. Okay. Then motorized alarm bell gong. The motorized alarm bell gong or gong is a mechanical device operated by the flow of water oscillating a hammer that strikes a gong, causing an audible alarm signal. Okay. Then ancillary components of the flow switch. A flow switch is an electromechanical device that monitors the flow of water through a system of pipe within the automatic fire sprinkler system. So, flow switch. Okay, then the flow switch can also be the pressure sensor. Then jacking pump. Jacking pump are manual hand pump, electric, automatic pumps are not always fitted with an automatic fire sprinkler system. They, however, provide a method of pumping, boosting the water from the water supply to the fire sprinkler system after the alarm valve. This leads to an increase in water pressure in the fire sprinkler system, thus forcing the alarm valve into the closed position. Jacking pumps have a secondary function of maintaining the water pressure within the sprinkler system, reducing the likelihood of false alarms caused by low pressure. Pressure gauge. Pressure gauge is a mechanical device that is usually fitted to an automatic sprinkler system. There are usually two gauges fitted into the system, one showing the water supply pressure and the second showing the installation pressure. Normally, the pressure differential should be not less than 200 kilopascal.